There are some best learning practices for the INTJ personality. First, though, let's remember that only 2% of the total population is an INTJ, and that would be composed of 3% are men of the total population, and only 0.9% are female. The interesting thing about an INTJ is that they are very original. They have very original minds. They love to implement ideas and achieve goals. They are extremely goal-oriented. They can see patterns in things, and then they are able to take that pattern and even theories and develop a long-range explanatory perspective. Now, when they're committed to do something, now make sure they need to be committed. They will organize a job and they're going to carry it through. However, they also tend to be very skeptical and independent. They have extremely high standards of competence and performance for themselves and also for others. Now, the INTJ's key word is analytical and innovative. And if you remember this, you're going to be able to teach them effectively and you're going to be able to learn effectively. They also want to know is why this is so. They are very energized by looking for and searching for answers, and they thrive on information. They're going to seek out information. They are going to investigate and dive into topics and learn everything they can about it because they thrive on learning and they want to understand why things happen. They really can easily assimilate new information, and they're really highly accurate in reproducing any kind of visual information. They are planners. They're organized. They enjoy liking questions, and they're going to ask those questions about theories as well as models. The neat thing about INTJs is that they're very good at theories as well as application. And because they are so analytical, they can see the applications for theories. Now remember, they do hold themselves to high standards. Now, the way that you can really help an INTJ to learn, or the best instructional strategies and best ways to learn, is to remember that they are a traditional classroom setting learner. So that means that they are going to love the lectures, going to love any kind of observation, and also that independence that comes away with it. They're also creative, but they're creative for themselves because they tend to be more introverted and quiet. They're going to be creatively integrating and learning the information and then finding ways to employ it. They do enjoy discussion, although they may not always participate in it. They enjoy listening and hearing what other people's impressions are and taking that information in. And the reason they may not participate in so much is because of that introverted nature, is that they are processing that information. They love examples and they do like feedback, although be very careful because they prefer to not have a ton of critical feedback. They prefer that things to be a little more softened. And field trips are a great way for them to really be able to understand and to integrate information, because they're able to then take the theories and the knowledge and find a practical information for it. We also want to look that they're very good at general concepts as well as detail. They love independent work, and again, they love those lectures and observations, and that goes along with that introverted side. They need to know their objectives, and the objectives goes along with that thinking and that judging piece of their personality, but they have to know what's expected of them. And they're going to prefer to have a pace of instruction that's a little bit more moderate. And the reason that is because they need the time to be able to process the information, integrate it into what they already know, as well as to have a little bit of time to really be able to reflect and think. Now, the INTJ loves that moderate pace of instruction so that they can find that practical application and problem solving. They love to approach any kind of information and see that there is a solution or a reason to use it, even if it is a theory. Remember, they do love that theory though. They also need a substantial amount of time for reflection, so make sure that you're giving them time to really think. They need to be able to ponder and be able to use that time to scaffold information or new information into the old information. And this is a time that you can give them so they can use it for self-instruction. You may want to give them a list or opportunities that they can be able to teach themselves some information. And the last thing to really remember is that they like to have a structured environment. They're very routine oriented, and they are a routine learner. So anytime that you implement any kind of new technique or new information, you're going to have to remember that it may take them some time to really come around to the idea, because they prefer those traditional information and traditional teaching techniques.